Welcome to Trading Lounge and the commodities. We'll look at Bitcoin first and maybe ETH and Dogecoin. And then we'll have a look at the dollar bonds and yields and gold and base metals and energy. So with Bitcoin here, we are looking a little bit shaky. We've got wave 3 here with wave 4 over here. And we're looking at this as being wave 1 to the upside and looking here for an ABC pattern here. We can have a look at that in a bit more detail. It's under pressure here. I can see that from the CME here, the mercantile, is that the leverage funds, which are hedge funds here, we can see that they're heavily building on the short side here for this. So that's creating a little bit of problem. The other thing too is that if we have a look at the, we'll just have a look at the spot first here. This is just the spot charts here for this. So basically, it doesn't really matter if you're looking at spot or futures or ETFs or whatever, is that we are seeing, we're seeing a diminishing volume in this is the spot. Also same for the futures here as well, this move down through here, and also for the ETFs as well. So this is it's this move because the excitement of the ETFs and all the rest of it. So basically the dust is settling, and this is the behavior, this withdrawal here of this is what I want to see in a correction here. I mean, if we were seeing increased volume here in a downtrend here, in this downtrend here, then that would be an issue at that point, but we're not. We're seeing the volume dry up, and this is what you would see at a particular low here. So I'll just have a look at the futures here. It seems to be sort of holding up a little bit better, but either way, when we want to look at it, the safe bet for all of this is basically you can see the 65,000 here in terms of the trading levels. That's a medium level. It's halfway between two major levels, 5 and 8 here. So it's really the centerpiece of the pattern at the moment. So you could imagine that if being below here, and we're on lower volume except for those short sellers on the futures there, if at some point we can get support back on the 65 here, then we would have a trend to the upside, and of course we'd be looking at 80k to the upside at that point. If I have a look at this particular correction here that we were looking at, not this one, I've got a few different counts for things, but this one here of wave 4 with 1 and 2 here, in a bit more detail. Let me just get my other Bitcoin chart. This is what it would look like here. So the wave 4 here with wave 1 here, an ABC for wave 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 for 1 here, then an A and a B and a C wave here. So this is the possible low. Now, of course, I wouldn't want to see this down below this is the from the top to the bottom here. This is the 61.8% at the 60,000. So we really need that 60,000 as the support, and we need to see this market actually move to the upside from really from this point actually. Anything further down here, and it wouldn't be a good look at that point. If I have a look at Ethereum, I don't know which chart I've been using here. This is in a weaker spot. It's weaker because it's still got this impulse wave up here, which is quite nice. This low needs to obviously stay in place. The same thing here. If I was suggesting that you could, basically this is a correction, and to buy the dip here, I would normally suggest waiting for the first high above the level, and then if you get a second one, you can drop it down to that. So looking for a position over here would be the right thing to do. Let's just assume that at some point we see a little move to the upside here. You would need to wait for that first high. That's a nice little safe sort of entry at that point. So you don't need to rush into it. Safety first is better. And of course, this wave 4 could be drawn over here if this is going to continue to the downside. But I feel like with the volume drying up, we're quite close to it all. I was looking at Doge here, and it's got kind of a nicer pattern here. So it's got this push up here. This is also at a medium level here, 15 cents. It's got that little first high above the level, so we can go long above that level there. So it's kind of the same pattern, but it's a bit different. But you know, just looking at other tokens on this, so that's pretty much the crypto side of things. So we really want that. We really want that 65,000 on BTC here as the support in the market. So yeah, that's what we're looking for. So we'll just wait, just continue to wait and see how that plays out. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at the dollar and the yields. So let's have a look at those. Welcome to Trading Lounge and our little Bitcoin prediction game, so you can test your analysis. So if you go to Trading Lounge, you'll see Bitcoin prediction here, and it's on GMT time, so it finishes at the end of the month. And you can win, at this stage, you can win 1 million Satoshis, and we'll try to up that with some sponsorship as we go. We're just testing the first month here in May. When you go to this particular page, you'll see a Google login here. So you just use your Google login here. And once you have logged in, I've got this particular price here of 72,000. So I can edit that as much as I like up to the 20th of each month. After that, it locks in at that point. So you can change it, but the last 10 days will run free. So it's absolutely free to play. There's no catches. There's only one entry, and you'll use your Google login to do that, and there'll be a leaderboard here for that. So I hope you enjoy it, and it's just a little bit of fun. Alrighty. So the bearish case for the US dollar is really sort of based on what we're seeing in the euro dollar and the cable and the Aussie and all of those sort of things. So we're kind of looking at the US dollar as possibly having a top in play here and moving down. So the A wave here and ABC for the B wave here, down for 1 and ABC back for 2. And then heading down for 3, 4, 5 down into this. Now that's a long shot and it's a long call, and it would need further price action to confirm that situation. And what I mean by further, if this here came down here a little bit further here, gave us 5 waves down from that low there, that doesn't confirm that it's bearish. Moving up from that point there would give us the bullish count, because really this little move here as an A wave, a B wave, I'll just clean that up, as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave down to here. So if we look from this low to this high here and have an A and a B and a C, we can go up from there. It's only when we have 5 waves here, anything below that 5 waves, then below that 5 waves, we could look at being, confirming at that point, then that we are bearish at that point. But that's what we're really waiting for, to confirm that, because the bullish side can be like this here, just another chart with the A wave here and then an A and a B and a C wave here further up here. So this could play out as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. So this little move here can be the A wave, the B wave and the C wave, and we can only go bearish after we have 5 waves here, and from here to here pulling back to the 50-60% or to basically support I can see is sitting in here somewhere. So it's going to take a while before we understand which side of the market this is in. If we have a look at this little pattern in here on a intraday basis, which we have been doing, let me just get in some more data here for this. So I still need more data, so I'll come over to maybe this much. Okay, so that is the top there, right, at this stage. So this first move down here is a little bit wobbly, but you can get 5 waves out of that. But what is clear is this move up here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A wave, the B wave, and then the C wave up here in 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it makes a very nice ABC pattern here. So I've always been pretty sure that we would take this low out here, but we need to take at least this low out here for this to occur at this point. So we're not quite there yet, because technically we could look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 over to here. So once that's breached here, then we'll be taking out that low. But as I said in the bigger picture there, it will take a little bit more to discover you know, the bigger picture of that situation. So that means that this would be somehow wave 1 here, and this would be an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here, and then we would need 5 waves down here, so 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave. Then we would need the 4th wave, and then we would need the 5th wave, something like that. So it's only under this point down here, after we have this 1, 2 and nice strong 3rd wave, 4th wave and 5th wave, that we could turn bearish on this here. Now what this means is that we can build up our trades on the long side of the dollar euro, the euro dollar, and the cable and the Aussie and the rest of them. So this is the point where it validates that the dollar has got a top in there. Now to support this situation here, we can have a look at let me remove that. We can have a look at the bonds at this point. This chart's a little bit messy, so I'll just go to this chart over here. So what we've been looking at with the bonds here is that an A wave up here, then an A, and then an A, B, C, D, E for the B wave, and then 1 and 2 here, and a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, 4th wave. So we called the low in, and then we're just really wanting to see if we get an impulse wave here, and we've talked about this here. We can see that there's overlapping wave structures in here. This is a daily chart, but I can just see that I know that there's overlapping. So it's a wave 4 here. So we're looking for a little move up here. So now we're starting to actually see the first impulse wave to the upside here. So that becomes quite sort of interesting at this point, because if there's 5 waves here, we're going to have a correction at some point, and then we're going to get another 5 waves up here. Now that could just be an ABC, and we could come down at that point, but if that turns into a 4, 5 here, then this 5 waves will produce an ABC and then another 5 up. So the fractal will just build on itself at that point. So it does appear that we are getting that first impulse wave. So we can imagine ourselves being back up around the 95 here in due course, based on this 5 waves producing another 5 waves. Getting past this one up here, well, that's another cup of tea, because B waves can get quite complicated. All of this could be an A and a B and a C down here, so it can get a bit more complicated. So we just got to build on the evidence that we have. If we can see things in another market, well, then we can look at that. It's just the same as I use stocks to dictate the count on the indices. So I look for the majority of the count there. So I can do this with currencies on this side of the fence. So really that's the gist of the dollar at this stage. But we can still, at this stage, while the dollar needs to come down a little bit, you can stay long in the euro dollar, the pound, and the Aussie and those sorts of things. So you stay long on those and short on the US dollar for a little while. So we just got to go step by step with all of that. Okay, so the next thing we want to have a look at is the gold market. So normally we've been starting with GDX, so I'll just get GDX up here. So we're looking at, I should really have this as primary wave 1 over here, but it doesn't matter too much. But wave 1 here and ABC for 2 here. So in the bigger picture here, we might as well just have a look at that for a moment. So in the bigger picture here, we've got wave 1 and 2 here. So we'll be going up for wave 3 here, and then there'll be 4 and 5 and all that. So that's the picture, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5. So in this third wave here, we're looking for 5 waves within that structure, so we'll be over here for that. So we're looking up here for the first wave 1 here. Let me just sort of draw this out just to have a look at the bigger picture here, because normally we just look at the the spot market. So a nice sort of 5 waves upwards here for this wave 3 here, and then there'll be wave 4 and yada yada yada, all the normal stuff. So wave 3 could extend out further, wave 5 could extend out as it does in commodities and all the rest of it. But at the moment, this is very close to the S&P and the Nasdaq count, by the way. We're also looking for a little wave 1 and 2 going up a wave 1 and 2 in this space. So pretty much the same sort of count, really. If I just that's the May, this is a March low, so this is just the SPY here, the SPY, which you can just take this as the what's the name, as the S&P or the Nasdaq, and all the same, most of them the same. But from this low here, we're looking at 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going up for the 3rd wave here, the 4th wave here, then the 5th wave here. So it's not far, this 1 and 2 here is not far off this, what we're looking for with the 1 and 2 here. Not that far at all, really. With my other GDX chart, just bear with me for a second. Here it is over here. So yeah, we're looking for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then 1 and 2. I didn't really get in there to resolve that situation there, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I don't think we got to 3. I think it needs to go just up here, but anyway, doesn't really matter. I'll sort that out a little bit later. But yeah, this is very much like the Nasdaq and the rest of them. So something like this here for this. So still a little bit further to the upside on this. I've got this at the right degree of structure, but anyway, yeah, so that's that. And if we look at, silver and US spot gold are kind of same. So I won't go to my bigger picture. I'll just go to this chart that we've been using here. And US spot gold, we're looking at wave 3 and 4 here, and then building up here. I might need to lift this to wave 1 over here, and we came down quite strongly here, but we decided that based on what the rest of the market is, we'll call that in as the low and we'll build to the upside. So that's all going pretty smoothly. So that's going to continue to move up here, and we can stay with this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and we'll take a look at that further. But expect this top to be taken out here for that. And I'll just check on silver. Silver is a little bit more buoyant in its pattern here, but it's a little bit different because with silver here we've got this extra little wave 1 here, so it could be counted a bit differently. So yeah, I still didn't quite get my head around it, but it doesn't matter. We can still look for this to move to the upside here. I'm just not quite sure the best way to handle that. I'll have to check with Sumi on that one, see what his count is on that. I mean, I can easily lift it up. I can do things like put this wave 1 here and this wave 1. So we've got 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and this becomes the 3rd wave here, and so on. We can do all that sort of stuff, but it just requires a little bit more thought than that, or does it? But anyway, we'll bring that stop up to here for this silver thing anyway, so we don't need that. Will be the other 1 and 2 coming back, so I don't need that there for a while. Yeah, so expect this top to be taken out. It will want to get to this point up here. I can see what it wants to do. I mean, very rarely do they fail sort of before the large numbers. They like to be sort of sucked up to it, unless there's an old high. This top's got to be taken out, put it that way. Okay, so I don't have my wave 5 up there, but let's get one in, and so we'll put a wave 5. So that wave 5 technically doesn't have to take the top out there. It just needs 5 waves here, but 90% or more this top will be taken out, so we should see this up here further. So yeah, maybe I could do it this way. This would be probably a bit better. Silver can stand on its own a little bit more. So if this was the case, then this would be here, and then here be some sort of corrective wave here, and then this one here. So that would be there, there, and there. Okay, well, I've been a big boy and solved it myself. Yeah, so we still need a wave 5 over here, so we'll just plonk that over there. Excuse the mess, but yeah, so that's it. Riddle solved. I mean, this could push up anywhere within this 1, 2, and 3 up here within group 1, but you know, if you're a short-term trader and you got leverage, then you know, getting close to the old high here would be fine. It's definitely going to be seeing some selling going at that point. You don't want to be dragged into this wave 4. Definitely take some money off the table at that point. So let's just do that at 29, 29, 20 would be about right. I'm talking about safety, not the actual top for that. And then you can take the rest of it up here somewhere at the $30 mark. Okay, righty. Sorry to waffle on so much. Just working on the job. Okay, so that's gold and silver. So that's out of the way. So that's good. Now we want to go and have a look at base metals. Now I'm going to start with copper. This is the high grade copper here. So we're also coming up for this here. Now this, we're looking at this as 1 and 2, and probably 1 and 2. So we're still going to go up here further. So obviously there's going to be some selling. 5 is the second strongest number in the market after 1. So we're definitely going to see stuff happen like this in here for this, you know. But if you're trading anything in here, this is the number. Let me have a look at the US Copper Fund Index here. So sometimes it's a bit smoother. So we pointed out this yesterday as 1 and 2 and the third wave here. So there'll be a 4 and 5 here. So don't expect too much more out of it. You know, possibly, you know, could build higher, but we'll be looking at some sort of reaction in due course here. And normally what we do is we look at 1, 2, and 3 here, 1, 2, 3 here. And when we start looking at wave 4s and all this sort of stuff, and there's going to be a wave 5 here and a wave 3 here and another wave 4 over here, this is where it gets a little bit sort of, this is group 1 and this is group 2. So if you're going to go for the longer haul, then you need to put up with a swing within this range here. You know, this is where you make money, this is where you lose money in here. So this can be, you know, something like this here, classic trading levels pattern coming into play here. So we'll be looking at this pattern here. We're just arriving here at the moment, so there'll be this, this, and this, and then this. So you don't want to lose money in here making decisions. So make sure you make your decisions before you approach a large number. You know, you either take it all, which is good, or you take a big chunk of it. If you're in some parabolic move, well then, you know, you do what you need to do. We go through the same thing here with uranium actually. So with uranium here coming up to this same number here, we had positions over here, still have them, and I don't personally, but coming into this space over here, you know, we were going into a series of wave 4s over here, and we knew, I pointed out, that we're going to be sticking at this number for a while, and this is the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC pattern here, and now we're sort of moving up here. So we'll probably put in a long trade for this. I mean, I'll be putting stuff in here, but I mean through the commodity check portfolio, we'll probably look to put a trade in this in due course. We did put a short trade in the coffee soft commodity trade portfolio today as well, if that's of interest. And yeah, so basically uranium doing this type of thing. Now, while we're here, we're just keeping a bit of an eye on nickel. So nickel here has had this big move down through here, and you know, we figured that there's a low in place here, but I never really was sure if we've you know, if we've just got a simple A, B, and C correction here, and then we come further down at that point. That's on the cards. The other one is that this is wave 1 and 2 here, and then wave 1 and 2 over here. So even though we have a long position here and we're going to take profit at 20 here, that was just sort of playing around a little bit, and this is corrective here, so it's all good. But we're going to be on the B wave over here. If this is wave 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, we're going to be going long above here, and then we're going to be building in over here for this. So, you know, the the Americans of us, the Australians too, you know, they're looking for better supply chains now. So this is one of the reasons I feel that this is coming off the play then, off the lows here now. So we need to see, you know, more deals done from the US and Australia to and other places to shore up the US supply there, and you know, plus BHP is quite big, you know, the biggest in Australia, you know, got their own smelter and all the rest of it for nickel over here, and they're, you know, doing the copper play on the English company at the moment. I think they got rejected again for that, but yeah, supply chains are changing on those. And we also need to look at lithium as well. It's the same thing here as well, in that I can call a low in here and look at this as 1 and 2 and building to the upside, but I can also see it as wave 3 and ABC for 4 over here. So I need to get 5 waves up here, and then once I've got the 5 waves, anything above that or anything or any second high here, then we can go long at that point and buy lithium stocks again. We have been looking at Piedmont here as well. Oh yeah, here we go. This is just what we're looking for. So we're also calling in a low here as well. But we want to see a bit more. Well, just to gather evidence, to gather confidence, really, and also this 15 mark here. You know, we want to see, you know, it's been rejected all the way through here. So we want to see it with support here. I don't know if we're going to get a lot of support here because I can see that it's where it is within its structure. So the only way to count this here is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. So this is going to be, well, let's just count it out here now. Let's just give this a little 1 and 2 in here. We'll just push this up. I'll just push this up here, and I'll just change this to, I'll just change it to, just drop it 1 degree, and we'll just keep it on the daily there. So that's 1 and 2 in here, and then we can look at this next little one here. It'll just give us something to build on as we go, you know, and we'll see if it plays out in that particular way, you know. So we might not get an entry as close as, I mean, if you wanted to go long here, you can just go long here and take the risk. And then on that basis, we still got to keep the stop just, well, you put the stop here really, but I'll just keep it out of the way here. We'll just start building a case here, okay? So yeah. I think I've still got a few $1,000s worth of this myself. So I will probably build into this too, but I'll just get it right first. So this will be this, and then this will be here, and this will be here. So it's a long way, isn't it, from there to there. We'll have a look at the Chinese ones as well there, because they're, you know, these are 30-40 billion dollar companies. The other ones are 150 billion dollars. So but you can't, I mean, no disrespect to Chinese people, I like them, but I can't, it's a bit difficult to trust Mr. XYZ in stuff, you know, and their buying policies completely change now, you know. So basically the safe trade for this would be sort of back over here for this. Sorry to waffle on so much here, but when there's just me, I've got to create my own entertainment as well. So yeah, look, it's going to be something like this, and this would be the safe trade over here on that B wave here, because if this does build into 5 waves here, then we can look at this being, you know, wave 1 up here and 2. So we'll just put those there as well and put this here, and now we've got a case here. So that will be that. It'll be something like this. If indeed, you know, I don't know if this is going to happen just yet, but it seems to be building in the right way. So we'll just keep plodding along with this. Okay. If you take this trade here, it's very high. This is what you're going to lose, right? You'll lose. You can put that stop under there. That would be fine at that point. But I know at the beginning of the trend, it's better just to leave it well out of the way, because when this one comes back, it could come back and bite it at that point. So we just got to be a bit careful. In fact, I'll just bring that back down here just to scare you a bit, you know, stop you doing stupid things. So yeah, so that's definitely exposure and risk. This one here is the safe trade. We could probably improve on that in here. Once we got those 5 waves, we could buy back in this wave 2 over here. That's not an issue. We can do that. Do you know what I mean? And it may not come back that far, but all these wave 4s here, this one and this one here will develop the support on the 15 here. So it's probably not likely that's going to come down too much at this point. But this is where we can build in over here. So should I remove that or leave it there? I think I'm going to remove it actually. Then you can't blame me if it mucks up. So anyway, that's that. And we want to have a look at the energy sector now as well. So we've been starting with ExxonMobil here because, you know, we've had this beautiful, well, I'll just go wave 1 and 2 here, a little bit messy in here, but all of this is a nice wave 3 up here. So we've just been waiting for the wave 4, and it got a bit bumpy and ugly and all the rest of it, and it was, you know, dropped again and did all of that. And anyway, this is where we are at the moment, calling this in the low. I can see that that's 5 waves here. So we could probably assume that's 5 waves here. So if I had to look at this, this would be wave 1 here and 2 here, and this would be wave 3 coming in around the old high over here. This would be here, that would be there. And let me get some thing here. This would be wave 1 and 2 at this point, I'd imagine. So we're heading up for wave 3, which will be at that level there, wave 4 and wave 5 up there. We can drop that down to here. And this would be wave 5 over here for this. And yeah, and I think yeah, so actually we've got to bring this, whoops a daisy, we've got to bring this take profit thing down into here somewhere for this. I'll talk to Alessio, he's the one that's got this trade on. But this is where US spot gold could play out. But I also just want to have a look at why we're here, just look at the energy sector, just to show you the bigger picture of what we've got here for this. So US sectors here and the energy sector here. So this is just the ETF. This is the XLE, and we're looking at wave 3 with an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here. Kind of much the same as the, you know, the SPY and all the rest of it actually. But what I wanted to point out here, there's a couple of different ways to view all of this here. So in the bigger picture here, we can look at wave 3 over here with an A, B, C, D, and E over here for wave 4. And this wave 4 here, we could take this fifth wave up here, right? We could take it. Why is that there? That shouldn't be there. We could go from wave 4 here and look at where is my wave 5? There it is. I could look at this wave 4 here and then bring wave 5 to the top here. So, you know, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could bring it to that point and that would be the top of it there. But I don't think that's the case. I think we're way up here further. I think the stock market needs to go up. I think the energy sector needs to go up. So this here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here going up for wave 5. And when we get up the top here, this will be a classic trading levels pattern, the arrival, the reaction, first high above the level, and then some sort of ABC pattern here. Then I think we go up again at that point. That's what I'm thinking. But, you know, my glass is always half full. And at the end of the day, we have to move on. We have to move on evidence. So the evidence would be understanding this pullback across the 100 here. That's what it would be all about. But it's good to explore these things. So that would leave crude higher and, you know, other markets higher as well. So anyway, coming back to Exxon here, this little move up here. So I just see this up here as I'll see a pullback at this point and then further up again, you know, but this is the fractal that we're in at the moment of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and we need to, there's a beginning, a middle and an end to a trend, and we're getting out at the end here for this. But this wave 3, 4, 5 business here is what I was kind of expecting on the, you know, on the crude market. So here is the A, the B and the C here, and it's got a calling the low in here. But it's just not getting its lazy ass up at that point. We could view this as 1 and a little ABC back for 2 here and pushing up. But it's just not doing it, is it? You know, it's got to get up here somewhere. So, I don't know. So we'll just see how it plays out. I don't see anything sort of exciting here just yet. I mean, if it was going to be bearish from this point, that means we'd need to look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then this would be wave 3 here, and this would be, even at wave 4, we'd still have an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and then a wave 5 down here. Then we could turn bearish, you know, because we could look at that as a 5-wave move down. But it's not what I'm seeing just yet in the energy market. Do you know what I mean? I'm not seeing that 5-wave structure there. If we got that, then we'd have an ABC over here, and then we'd go down again, and we would look to short here or over here based on that 5 waves. But I don't have it yet, and it's just sort of loitering around here. So yeah, it's just not not doing any, it's not giving me anything that I can build on at this point, you know. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And so the gas market as well. I'm just going to use Samni's chart for this because he's got a bit of a different take on it than I have. So commodity chart. We've started global indices now, so we'll be doing about 20 of the large indices around the world, covering Asia and pretty much yeah, pretty much all over the place. But so that started yesterday. But we want commodity charts here, and we want natural gas. So he's got this here as coming up for this wave 2 here. So I'm just going to let this play out here. I mean, he's a damn fine analyst, so I'm just going to run with him on this, and let's just see how this, if we get a turn over here for this. So I'll just leave that as that for the time being with gas. We do need to see an impulse wave to the downside, and we need to distinguish the impulse wave from a corrective wave to the downside as well. So we'll be working on that. As I mentioned, we were looking at coffee for the short trade as well here. So this is the 4-hour chart. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at with this here is a wave 4 here, and then down for this is a nice impulse wave that finished off here, and last night it pulled back up here. So we're looking for that pullback there to short just under here. I think it's at around just under 196. So that short trade there will be down at the 180 area here for that. But there'll be based on this over here and based on the trading levels, because the number 8 here is the first group 2 under the 200, so 83, you're going to start seeing a lot of support come into this market at that point. But that's a little short trade that we put out today, so you can check on that. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.